everybody, my name is Mars. You can call me MG if you would like, and today I have a tag video for you, specifically the weird book tag, which, as you can probably guess, has 10 questions involving weird things and books. Who would have thought? I will leave links in the description to the video where I found this tag and also the original creator, so definitely go check those out after you're done watching this video. But without any further ado, let's just start answering these questions. The first question is, where is the oddest place you've ever purchased a book from, and was that book a keeper? And I don't know if I've purchased any books from odd places. I buy my books from like a regular bookstore like Barnes & Noble. Thrift stores are actually where I buy most of my books. Like yard sales or library church sales. Occasionally I'll do an online purchase if I really want a book and I find it on Thrift Books or something. But those all feel like normal avenues to buying books. Like I've never bought a book from some random person off the street, so I don't really know if I can answer this question. Question 2 is, have you ever gotten strange looks while reading a book in public because of the title or the cover? And no, but I do have an adjacent story to tell. So one time I was reading manga at work on my break. It was not while I was on the clock. I did this a lot because I can read manga on my phone and then I wouldn't have to bring an actual book into work to read on my break. So I picked up this vampire manga that I thought was just going to be some fun and adventure, and I knew there was a romance in it, but I didn't realize the romance was like the main focus of the story, and I also didn't realize that it would be very smutty. So there I was, I had my phone swiping through as I'm reading this manga, and all of a sudden there's vampire smut on my phone. And thankfully I was in the break room, because if people saw me, they would instantly be able to know I was reading something weird because I am very expressive in my reactions, and I would have not been able to keep that to myself. Question 3 is, what strange and wonderful things have you found in a used or new book? And I will show you my copy of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey. This, as you can see, is a very beat up copy. It's missing a corner. There's water damage, the back is very creased and folded, and the pages are all yellowed. But the reason why I'm calling this a strange book is because when you flip it open to, here's the dedication page, and then part 1 starts. There's a poem written on the inside of this, and I've Googled the words to the poem, and it's not like a famous poem or anything that I could find online. It's just whoever owned this wrote this poem out, and it's so fascinating. I genuinely have no idea where I got this book from. There's no other markings in it, it's not annotated or anything, but it's just a weird copy of a book that I got with a poem written in the inside cover, and I just think that's fascinating. Question 4 is, smelling a book weird to you, or is it a normal part of buying and reading books? And I absolutely think it's a normal part of buying and reading books. I love the smell of books, new books, used books, any books at all. The smell is very important when it comes to picking up a book, I think. Question 5 is, do you have any odd habits when it comes to buying, reading, or collecting books? And I honestly don't think I can answer this because I wouldn't know what other people consider to be odd. I don't think I do anything odd, but that doesn't mean other people wouldn't think that the things I do are odd. So if you are a longtime viewer and you've seen me throughout the years with my reading and collecting books, let me know if I do anything that you think is kind of strange, because now I'm really curious. Question 6 is, what is the strangest comment that you've received after telling someone that you're a book collector or a reader? And the story I have for you is something that's truly perplexing to me, even though it's been years. So this one time I stopped into the dollar store because I had just a few odds and ends to purchase, and I looked at the book section, as I do whenever I go into any store that has a book selection, and I picked up a book to read, well, to buy and then read later. And I went to checkout, and the guy behind me, made a comment about it. He was, sort of laughing about it. I was like, okay, weird. And then he said, very loud and very proud about it, that he hadn't read a single book since graduating high school. And I was like, good for you. Like, it was a very strange moment for me. The cashier and I kind of just shared a look and moved on. So, I don't know what that guy's deal was, but it was very bizarre. Question 7 is, have you ever had a strange encounter at a bookshop? And I guess the last question's answer could also go for this question, but I have a different story for this one. And that is the time that a few years ago, my roommates and I went to Barnes& and Noble to pick up some manga, as one does. And right there in the manga section, we witnessed a very tearful breakup between two teenagers, and it was quite awkward because they were kind of standing directly in front of some of the stuff that we wanted to grab, so we had to like just wait for that to play out and for them to walk away. So yeah, definitely a strange encounter. Question 8 is it weird to pass a bookshop while you're out and about and not enter it? And I wouldn't say that it's weird, but I definitely do get a little bit sad because I do really enjoy browsing bookstores and purchasing them. Question 9 is, do you prefer the weird, old, out of the way, messy type bookshops, or do you prefer the newer, nice and tidy shops? And I will take any bookstore that I can get, if I'm being entirely honest, but I do think that there's a special charm to like old used bookstores where they've got like floor to ceiling shelves and the books are kind of packed on there a little haphazardly. I just really love that type of environment. Okay, I got interrupted for a second there, but I am back to answer the 10th and final question, and that is, what is the oddest shaped book that you've come across? And out of my collection, which is about 350 to 360-ish books at last count, the book that I would go with as the oddest shape is Magic by Angie Sage. It's not exactly a square, I don't think it's like the perfect dimensions, but it is pretty much a square, and I've never seen another book in these dimensions. Like, it's so weird to me, and I like it. I think it's really fun and interesting. It's also like the world's floppiest paperback, which has nothing to do with the dimensions, but it is pretty fun. So, yeah, definitely the strangest size or dimensions out of any book that I currently own. But I would also like to mention the Ghost Girl series, which I don't own anymore, but I did when I was like 13 or 14 years old, and those books are like super tall and then very like narrow. So if this was the cover, it'd be the exact opposite of these dimensions. It would be like up to here, but then also only like this narrow. Like, truly bizarre. I don't know who created the dimensions of those books, but it was so weird, and like because it was so narrow, it was kind of hard to flip the pages. Like, they were glued very tightly to the binding, and it was just bizarre. But with that, we have come to the end of this vlog. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone!